Welcome to the Sober Edge podcast, inspiration for alcohol-free living. I'm your host, Terry Patterson, functional nutritionist and This Naked Mind senior coach. The Sober Edge is a place to explore the infinite possibilities on the other side of drinking. In a culture soaked in booze, discover the wonder and joy of taking a different path. Meet real people living lives of purpose and passion, learn the truth behind the alcohol myths, and get ready to be motivated, inspired, and astounded by what is possible with the Sober Edge. Well, hey everyone, it's Terry back with another edition of the Sober Edge podcast. And I have a solo episode for you today intentionally because I wanted to spend a little time, reflecting on the lessons from 2023. I had an amazing year in so many ways, and there were still hard parts and challenges. One of the things that I did in 2023 that was amazing was we launched the Sober Edge Book Club, my partner Sarah and I. And as we were reflecting on one of the books that we read in December, we were talking about the idea that everyone has a story that will bring you to your knees. And it's true. We all have hard parts every year. And 2023 was no different for me. So I wanted to just share some of the lessons that I've learned along the way, some of the highlights, and celebrate with you and thank you for being part of my amazing audience in 2023. So one of the first things I did in 2023 was I intentionally connected with more of you. I actually hired someone to help me run Facebook ads. You may have ended up learning about this podcast because of an ad. I had never done that before, but I wanted to grow my very small email list, and I did. I grew my list by 700%. So for many of you, you joined my list sometime in 2023. And when I say my list, I just mean part of my community. You might have taken advantage of my free challenge. You might have found a guide for healthy eating and living, or drinking through the decades, or becoming more. You might have grabbed one of those guides and ended up in my community. And perhaps you've been hanging out for a while, opening my newsletters that come once a week. And if so, I really appreciate that. If I don't have people that I'm connecting with, I don't have a business. But more than that, I don't have an opportunity to create content that helps you move forward in your alcohol-free journey. And so by growing my email list intentionally, I just wanted to connect with more of you. And it's been fabulous. So some of the other connection things that I did this year was, for the very first time, I offered 2 live challenges, one in June and one in October. And I created a Facebook group called Ignite Your Sober Spark. And that was really fun. So many of you popped into the group for the 4-day challenge in June and the 4-day challenge in October. We had prizes and live trainings, and it was really cool to connect with you. It was something I'd never done before. I was a little nervous, and I want to thank you if you showed up for holding my hand and helping me get through it, because it was a new challenge for me. And it was a lot of fun. And I will probably do 1 or 2 more in 2024, because I think it's so incredible to put out free content into the world and connect with each of you. And so if you are interested in igniting your sober spark, my Facebook group is still open. You can absolutely search Ignite Your Sober Spark, ask to join. It's a free group. I'm not in there a lot. Facebook is not really my thing, but you will definitely know about any free content I'm putting out, and you will definitely be a part of any new challenge. And by challenge, it's just a free workshop, a free mini class, that mini series, I think I called it, to help you move forward in this alcohol-free life. Something else in 2023 that was really cool was I doubled down on my word of the year. And that word of the year for 2023 has been delight. I'm recording this on the last day of 2023. So, right up till the end of today, I'm going to continue to take delight in everything that I can. So, one of the first things that I realized was that I hadn't spent a lot of time in play or even outdoors in 2022. I worked a lot in 2022. It was my first full year of solopreneurship, not working another gig on the side. And I doubled down and I worked hard. And so in 2023, I wanted a little more delight. So my husband and I, at the very end of December of 2022, we got a puppy. And sweet Nola came into our life. And sometimes she's sweet, sometimes she's naughty, Nola. But it got me outside more. It definitely opened up avenues of delight because, as you know, if you've ever had a puppy, there are many moments of just sheer hilarity and joy and connection. And so that definitely helped me lean into the idea of more playfulness and certainly delight. One of the other things that happened in 2023, and I really do think this was because I was focused on delight, is I said yes to more opportunities to travel and even travel without my husband. I went to three really cool events or opportunities away from my husband that I traveled to Portland, Maine. I traveled to Palm Springs, California. I traveled to Tecate, Mexico. And what delight I had interacting with new places. Those were all places I'd never been before, with new friends, and just really, once again, focusing on how to have more delight. And so, one of the things I want to encourage you to do is consider setting an intention by choosing a word of the year. When we are focused on our word of the year, I truly believe that it's a big ask to the universe, and we're able to see more opportunities show in our life. I've done this now this will be my fifth year. And each of the words that I've chosen have really manifested in my life in unique ways. So choose your word carefully. I believe they have a lot of power, but have fun with it too. So 2023 was kind of amazing when I look back. I think I did 7 trips, traveled, and yet I ran my business. I didn't take a whole lot of time off. I really enjoy working with all of you. And when I say work, it's almost not like work because connecting and getting in front of you as a one-on-one client or one of my groups or hosting something with other coaches is just delightful for me. And so I love to work even when I'm kind of on vacation. My oldest daughter, went to Santa Cruz, California with my husband and I and her girls for spring break last year, for the girls' spring break. And my daughter took a little time off and I took time off, but I worked. And I remember her mentioning, gosh, Mom, I didn't realize you'd be working so much. But for me, once again, it's really special to be able to drop in and connect with all of you on your alcohol-free journey. So it doesn't feel as much like work. I did take some time off when I was in Hawaii. I took some time off in Mexico. And I just feel so blessed that I was able to travel so much. What else? I had my second full year of podcasting. I think I'm up to 120 episodes now. So that's been pretty amazing. One of the things that is so fun is meeting so many other amazing individuals, coaches, people out in this entrepreneurial world or in this coaching space, people on their own alcohol-free journey. And I had a lot of fun. So this year I looked back at my stats, and for 2023, I recorded 51 episodes, and they were, 30 of them were with a guest and 21 were solo episodes. And thank you all for your feedback. I got lots of great feedback on my solo episodes. And so I did more than I did the year before because it felt like something that was really resonating with all of you. So that was amazing. Again, I'm not going to stop podcasting anytime soon. I really do love it. It's a great way to, like I said, connect with all of you, but also give something back. Hopefully, some of the episodes have helped you grow in your alcohol-free journey and after alcohol. And so that's been amazing. One of the things that happened to me that was unexpected was I had kind of my first health challenge. And it started in the spring, late spring. And if you know me at all, you may know that as a functional nutritionist, I don't weigh heavily on the advice of medical doctors. And so what I've noticed is that I, started to have an issue, started with my scalp and then a rash in my skin and my neck. And I just kind of dismissed it and thought it would go away. But that's not really how things work with our bodies. Sometimes they do. But what happened eventually was I had to seek out a doctor's advice and then a dermatologist. I also worked with a clinical nutritionist, and I'm still working with a naturopath. And the long and short of it is that I do have an autoimmune condition, psoriasis. It's a sub form of psoriasis. I actually have two different types, and it's kind of a drag for sure. It's not the biggest health challenge I could have, and I don't want to, make it a big deal. But I did want to share a few of the takeaways that came out of this unexpected challenge. So what I realized was that for all of us, when we have an autoimmune condition, it can seem to come on overnight, as mine did. However, what I know, and as I examined my own lifestyle, this was not something that happened overnight. This was something that was brewing underneath for a while. An autoimmune condition comes from the continual assault of something in your system that your body responds to and wants to start an immune response. So in my case, it had probably been, just some lifestyle choices, definitely more of food related, probably. And so I had to really do what many of you have had to do, which is go on an elimination diet and remove a few things from my food list. And boy, have I been cranky about it. And I've developed a much more compassion for those of you that are on more restrictive diets or restrictive, elimination of certain foods. The good news for me and for anyone with an autoimmune condition is that this changing up your diet and removing certain foods often is only for a short time. And so that was a lesson that, I'm continuing to learn is how to honor my body and also take the advice of the health professionals that I've hired. I am one of those people who kind of wants to bootstrap it and, let's face it, think I know best. And so I often want to ignore the advice that other people give me and just move forward. But I've had to really lean into understanding more about this condition, taking it slow, honoring my body, listening to my doctors. One of the things that's been such a huge blessing from this is getting to work with a naturopath. I mean, I guess that was always an option, but really, deciding to hire someone to be part of my team. And she's been absolutely amazing. If you've ever worked with a naturopath, you may have had this experience, but in Western medicine here in the United States, when you see a doctor, you often will get 10 minutes of their time, maybe a referral, and they're very much focused on a solution rather than lifestyle. And that often comes in the form of a prescription, which is what happened for me with both my medical doctor and my dermatologist. But when I went to the naturopath, what was so cool was I had the opportunity to get hormone testing, food sensitivity testing, extensive labs, and it's been really amazing. And what I've realized is that it's helped me honor the things that were at play in my body, maybe where my health was needing a little shore up that I didn't know about because I wasn't going to, a lot of different doctors. I'm not someone who typically has a lot of health issues. And so I tend to just go to the doctor once a year because I need to in order to keep my insurance. So it's been a really fascinating journey, and to have, a 90-minute appointment with someone who's focused on your health is pretty incredible. And I do believe that the challenges and the changes that I'm making are going to serve me well in the long run to this life of thriving rather than just surviving. The other really cool thing that happened here in 2023 was I have been at a place for a number of years where I have not been focused on movement or exercise or lifting weights or really, all of the recommendations of moving my body. I'm somebody who is pretty healthy and naturally thin. And so I have let that part sort of slide. And my naturopath challenged me to get moving again. So I joined a gym and I joined the senior class. And I have to tell you that it has been one of the biggest moments of delight, continued moments of delight in 2023. I have been so fortunate to fall in with this group of seniors who we work out together 3 days a week, and they are so much fun. And the conversation, the liveliness, the humor, the laughter, the compassion, the caring, the acknowledging one another's struggles and coming alongside. I think there's been 2 surgeries for the members since I've been in this small group. There's about 12 of us. And gosh, I wish I'd done it sooner. It reminds me of my alcohol-free journey. Like, why did I wait so long? So in unexpected places, you may find delight, or you may find that out of a health challenge comes something incredibly beneficial. So that's been kind of the ups and downs of 2023. I also continue to offer my self-experience program for women after alcohol. We're now in the 4th round, and I will continue to offer that the next opportunity to join. I may switch things up a little bit, but my intention is to offer it in February. I did some collaboration this year with other coaches and friends in my business offers, and that's so much fun. I get to connect with many of you, but this solopreneurship can be challenging because it's just me, and sometimes it gets a little lonely. So in my book club and with a fellow coach, Karolina Jaskowolska, who I offered an alcohol-free coaches retreat, I've had so much fun coming together with other women and entrepreneurs in this space and being able to share the delight of how do we want to reach our audience? What can we offer? And sometimes we're just better together. So that's been really exciting as well. And I have a new collaboration coming up for alcohol-free entrepreneurs that'll be launching in early 2024 with a new collaborative partner. And so, gosh, it's just been incredible to be open to new opportunities. I also launched a brand new program this year and started focusing a little bit more on serving those of you in my audience who are women 50 and over, which I believe is many, many of you, because I have had this delightful experience of being able to understand more about women in midlife and, help us focus on the positives. And as we move in these midlife transitions, so many beautiful opportunities. I've really been doing a lot of learning and growing in my own understanding of how to support all of you, probably since about mid-year, in the middle of the summer, I think. And so I developed a program called Stop Drinking in Your 50s and Beyond, because I really wanted to have a foundational opportunity for you to, any of you that might find this helpful, to, really dig into learning the nuts and bolts of how to challenge ourselves around our thoughts around drinking, make progress in taking a break, and really move forward with new knowledge, tactics, and application. So that program, Stop Drinking in Your 50s and Beyond, launched in September, and it's been pretty cool. And so, yeah, those are some of the things that have been really powerful this year for me. And again, I just wanted to pop in and share. And I hope that you, as you're looking at 2023 and 2024, are recognizing the places that were challenging for you, and also those places of celebration, and even those intangibles. I mentioned traveling, but some of the things that came out of traveling were the intangibles of, just connection and, becoming a little braver to travel as an older woman by myself and go to new places. And all of these things are so valuable to look back, because this is the rich tapestry of life that brings us together and helps us explore how we want to move forward. And so I will just close by saying Happy New Year to all of you. I know this episode, it will be a couple days into the new year, but we can continue to do this reflection and this celebration for the next couple of weeks. I think it's really valuable. And in fact, one of the things I'm excited to offer here in 2024 is my free community event, a gathering that I'm calling 24 for 24. Hopefully you've seen some of the information that I have shared about it, and you've maybe already registered. But we're going to gather on January 7th, Sunday morning, and we're going to spend some time in 3 areas that I think will really enrich our 2024. And I borrowed this framework from Gretchen Rubin because we have been studying one of her books in my book study series. And it's been really cool to just remind myself how important it is to have a framework around our intentions. And so in 24 for 24, we're going to choose together and reflect together 24 things we want to look forward to in 2024. Perhaps accomplish would be a good word. 24 things we want to attempt or accomplish. I'm already kind of thinking in my list a couple of ideas that are sparking for me as maybe 24 hikes in 2024, maybe 24 new podcasts to listen to. So some things like that. And then we're also going to focus on choosing a word of the year. As I mentioned, my word of the year has been very powerful in my life. And then we're also going to challenge ourselves to do something for 24 minutes a day throughout 2024. So I hope you'll consider joining us on Sunday, January 7th. There's still time to register. It's a free event, and it's my way of saying thank you for being part of my community. So I hope to see you there. And in the meantime, thank you for listening to this podcast. You can always connect with me around my newsletter. And if any of my programs are helpful for you, if there's anything that might help light your 2024 on fire, if it's the self-experience after alcohol, if it's ditching booze in your 50s and beyond, if it's the Sober Edge book club, I hope you will connect with me and any way that I can serve you. It's always my honor. All right. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Sober Edge podcast. This is a place for important conversations and a safe place to question everything you thought you knew about drinking. If you're looking for your sober edge, I want to invite you to connect with me at thesobernutritionist.com, where you can grab my free resource, Becoming More, a guide to loving your sober life. And I would be so grateful if you enjoyed this podcast, if you would leave a rating and review, as it will help more people find their sober edge.